On July 2, 2019, Ben Simmons was offered a 5-year, $168 million contract extension from the Philadelphia 76ers. Simmons has the ability to get to the rim against almost any defender. At 6'10" and 230 pounds, he can bully his way through the defense. Simmons is an extremely gifted passer, and on the defensive end, he has the athleticism to hang with just about anyone in the league. Simmons is a former Rookie of the Year and also made his first NBA All-Star game in this past season. The sky is the limit for Ben Simmons. The mascot's excited. The fans are excited. Even the former GM may be smiling. But what if I told you I wasn't sold on Simmons? Would you think that I'm crazy? Would you think that I was telling the truth? Well, I have some evidence, and here we go. This is a Ben Simmons breakdown. When it comes to Simmons' passing ability and decision making, he made a few mistakes in this past playoffs. One of his biggest issues is overpassing. In these two clips, you can see him trying to pass in transition to Tobias Harris when he really should just be going up strong to the hoop or passing out to the perimeter. Overall, I can't really knock him on his playmaking. He's an excellent playmaker. But when we look at his spacing here, I am very, very alarmed. Watch this clip. We have Simmons in the corner and Jared Dudley helping off. Ruins the action by the Sixers and then recovers, forcing Simmons to take a tough shot. Again, Simmons is on the block here and he ruins the pick and roll for Butler. He's attacking to the rim and Pascal Siakam is standing right in the paint, getting in Jimmy Butler's way. Watch Simmons' defender on this play. He's so far off him that when Simmons gets the ball back, there's no passing lane. He still makes the pass, and that leads to a turnover. Check out the time here. Just a minute left in a 4-point game. Going with an Embiid pick and roll, and we have Simmons getting in the way of Butler. Watching plays like these ones, it makes me wonder, what if Philly just had a competent point guard who could shoot a little bit? Would Embiid, Simmons, and Harris have been more successful down the stretch of games? Watch Danny Green on this one. He's able to slide over and take away an easy layup for Tobias. He's looking for Tobias to make a skip pass here, and the reason why Tobias has to make that pass is because the lane is clogged up. Time and time again, Simmons isn't in the ideal spot, and he hurts his teammates. Check out Kyle Lowry. He's right under the hoop right now. When Embiid gets the ball and tries to attack, he has to do a spin move. He ends up missing the shot. Why was Lowry in the paint? You guessed it. Embiid's going to get the ball again here, and Danny Green's right there for the help. Simmons has no value standing under the hoop, and you're essentially playing 4-on-5 in the half court. Another possession here where Danny Green is able to slide over and make life tough for Joel Embiid. Spacing is everything in today's NBA, and when you have to drive right into another man's defender, that's going to make it very difficult to score consistently. Setting a screen in the paint for another big, that's not ideal at all. I don't know any offenses that can possibly do that by design. Simmons has a bad habit of standing around on offense. On this possession, he does not move for about 10 seconds. This just allows his defender to hang in the paint and rest. I would like to see Simmons screening or doing something other than standing around. Check out this one right here. Simmons is at the bottom right of your screen, and this is with 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go. He's basically out of the play. Doesn't crash to offensive rebound, doesn't run back on defense. Again, it's about 4-on-5. Butler goes to attack, and look who's there. If only there was another shooter on the floor instead of Simmons. Tobias catches it off the screen, and we have Ben standing at the 3-point line. Danny Green is smart enough to know that he can collapse on Embiid and almost gets a steal. TJ McConnell is looking to attack baseline and almost has a reverse layup. If Simmons could shoot even 20% from 3, Horford wouldn't have been standing in the paint. He disrupts the offense on this play, and they don't end up scoring. Saric and Simmons clogging the lane for Embiid, making him settle for the jumper. This is vintage Simmons right here. Looking to attack as soon as he gets the ball, even when the jump shot is right there. Again, he catches it, needs to drive because he does not want to shoot. This needs to change. In a 7-game series, the coaches are too smart and the players are too talented. It's a major disadvantage and the spacing gets destroyed. In transition, he's a fun player, but in the half court, he hurts the Sixers on almost every possession. While everyone knows that Simmons doesn't shoot, one thing I don't think people know is that he's pretty below average on defense. At times, he can look excellent because he has great athleticism and he can make up for mistakes. Other times, he gets exposed for standing straight up or not being engaged. One play that Simmons continuously got beat on this season was a fake ball screen to the right and attack to the left. There you saw it led to a Kyle Lowry open 3. Here we have Russell faking the screen, using the left hand to get all the way to the rim. Just a quarter later, Karis LeVert, same thing. Fake to the right, straight to the cup. This is back a year ago. A little bit too straight up, Tatum gets in for layup. Here we have DeMar Carroll, and he does a great job switching out onto Joe Harris. But then, off the ball, he loses Harris. And you know the scouting report on Joe Harris, don't let him shoot. One of the major areas of concern I have for Ben Simmons is the mental lapses. Watch right here. 6 minutes to go against Boston in the playoffs last year. Marcus Smart sneaks right by him. With the game and the series on the line, he falls asleep again. Jason Tatum cuts backdoor for a series-clinching bucket. The reason I'm concerned is because this is stretching across 2 years. This year's playoff, last year's playoffs, the year before that he was injured. When is he going to learn? I know he's only 22 years of age, but it's like he's napping on the floor in the playoffs. Gets beat backdoor again, and it doesn't lead directly to the bucket, but they do get an open 3 off of it. That's on you, Ben. You can have all the physical tools in the world, but if you're not a quick thinker and you're not actively communicating and engaged, you're going to get burned. If you're a head coach, this is the last thing you want to see. One thing I noticed with Simmons is that he has extremely bad habits off the ball. Look right here. He's facing the complete wrong way. His back should be to the basket, and he should be ready to recover in case his man gets the ball at the 3-point line. It doesn't burn him on this one, but it will eventually. Again, losing sight of the ball while covering Kyle Lowry down in the post. Turning around last year as well. The bad habits are developed. Look at this denial on Kawhi, standing straight up. That's not a defensive stance. Here we see him clog the lane and let Kawhi Leonard wreak havoc in the paint once again. But let's focus on this transition defense right here. You have Leonard coming up, and just a lazy closeout by Simmons. On this attack, I have no problem with going right to the basket. I don't care that he missed it either. The issue is when you just let Kyle Lowry go baseline and just swipe from behind. This is the playoffs. On this play, he attempts to communicate with Redick, but as you can see, failed communication. Leads to the wide open three. While watching the Sixers film, it seems like Simmons doesn't know the scouting report. Going back to last year, Jaylen Brown is shooting over 40% from three. That means you can't let him get loose on a flare screen. Here he's clogging the paint against Embiid as he falls for his up fake. And then rather than sprinting back, he just kinda jogs. He's lucky D'Angelo missed this one. Check out Kevin Durant on this one. He beat Simmons while attacking the basket. Wait a minute, that's not Kevin Durant. That's 32-year-old Damari Carroll. Simmons just isn't paying attention in transition. Again, you have to know the scouting report. You can't let Joe Harris get loose for three. Last but not least, here's that fantastic block by Ben Simmons. But why does he have to make this crazy block? It's because him and James Ennis didn't communicate in transition. And while the announcers applaud the block, I know the real story behind the play. Simmons making $168 million. What do you think? Is he worth that much? Poor spacing? Mental lapses? The look on Brett Brown's face says it all. Ben Simmons needs to get in the gym and in the B-ball film room.